Good morning, everybody. Is my mic on? Yes. Can you see me and hear me? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Jody. All right, let's get started. Happy Halloween to everyone. Where did I begin here? In a previous answer, you predicted I have 3 options in regard to my work. Any insight as to what the third is? Third, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, 4 of Pentacles. See how he's chained to these 2 pentacles? It feels like it's not something necessarily that would bring in like a windfall, but more of like a steady build when it comes to almost like wearing your heart on your sleeve and some kind of advice mixed together in terms of what you would be doing. It feels spiritual in nature. 1 second. This is all messed up. Okay. Message and a song from my husband. Where's the other playlist? Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys is the song. 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. I feel like there's this energy of you questioning if you could have or should have done something differently. And the message is that like you did the right thing, or the right actions were taken, or all is understood. It's almost like you're questioning something back and forth, and he wants you to bring peace to your mind about it. Almost like a message of it's not your fault, but not exactly it's not your fault. It's like a different way to word it that I can't put my finger on. Should I accept this job offer despite what I perceive to be red flags? Strength and the Tower. 5 of Pentacles. I would say that it feels like the red flags you're seeing are valid red flags. It almost feels like something that seems too good to be true because it actually is too good to be true, or there's some things being misrepresented that are going to be like they're trying to tell you it's this way and you're like, no, I think it's that way. You're right to say it's that way. So it depends on if you knew you were reading the red flags correctly, would you embark on this journey or not? I feel like the ball's in your court depending on what those red flags would really mean. Will there be simultaneous attacks on mass casualty event on American soil this month, possibly at a live music festival or local bars in multiple cities? Ooh. 5 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, Strength. 5 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, Strength. I want to say we're going to learn about something being stopped that would have involved a small group of people. I'm not really getting like a multi-target thing. It's more like we learn about like a crisis averted is how it feels. You're probably talking about after the election. The Star, something be made public. I feel like there's going to be some kind of crisis averted type of thing. I have a phone interview tomorrow. Will I get the job? King of Swords, High Priestess, 4 of Pentacles. I feel like you will. There's a need to almost like trust yourself when you feel like don't second guess yourself in your answers. It feels to be like the best advice. Like speak confidently, don't second guess yourself. In second guessing yourself, that may be not necessarily standing in your way, but like you may get more questions to try and alleviate that doubt, like asked to you. So the message of don't second guess yourself in your answers. Is R helping T find new love soon? 9 of Wands, Ace of Swords, 4 of Wands. There's something that needs to be worked through first. It starts within. Ace of Swords is almost giving me the energy of like, is R helping T? T previously felt like they did not use their logic mixed in with their intuition, and whatever wound that caused needs to be healed before this commitment. But the commitment's there. It's just a little bit out in the future, a little bit more out in the future. What organization will I be working in? Will it be probation, prison service, or CPS? Probation, 4 of Swords, Temperance, prison service, Chariot, the Moon, CPS, 2 of Wands, 8 of Swords. I feel like you had some kind of experience that would prepare you for CPS, but I don't feel like it's going to be CPS. 4 of Swords, Temperance, for probation. It feels more likely the prison service. It almost feels like there may be some kind of rejection or some kind of like I follow up and I don't get a good vibe from them in terms of the probation avenue. Message and song. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Queen of Cups, the Empress, 2 of Cups. There's a need for you to receive right now. Put yourself in a mode of receiving, and it starts with like almost like a conversation or support coming from another person, knowing that you put yourself into a mode of receiving by receiving directly from another person. It feels like a long-awaited conversation or some kind of expression of emotions. That's what puts you in the mode of receiving so you can get a solution to something else. Message from mom or dad. That's All by Genesis. Just as I thought it was going all right, I find out I'm wrong when I thought I was right. 4 of Cups, the Sun, the Star. Believe what people show you, not what people tell you. There's a need to trust the patterns right now and know that in doing so, your discernment will stop you from having to complete the whole lesson. Because your discernment, the use of your discernment is the completion of a lesson. So trust yourself. Will I be offered the job I interviewed for last week? 2 of Wands, 10 of Wands, Knight of Cups. 2 of Wands. A burdened offer. I feel like either yes, and it's not going to be all the way what it's explained to be, or there's like some kind of caveat. Like maybe it's like a couple week delay before you can start longer than you thought, or maybe like the pay is slightly different or something. It feels like you get the offer, but there's some kind of caveat that comes with it. I asked you about my brother last time. He is still in the ICU on a ventilator. Is taking him off the right decision? I'm sorry. Taking him off the right decision. 10 of Swords, King of Cups, King of Wands. 10 of Swords would be a painful ending. The King of Cups would be the emotional connection that you have to your brother, and the King of Wands would be action being taken. The Lover, the decision, strength, decision. I'll say this. It feels like the timing is important is kind of what I'm getting. It's like making sure that you check all the boxes and feel all the feelings and have all the conversations and do all the things necessary so that you don't look back later feeling like, should I have waited? I feel like it's more a decision for when would that decision be right for those who are going to be most heavily affected by the decision. Hopefully that helps. That's kind of what I feel comfortable saying there. Insight to when and where getting a new job at college professor or program director or another. Getting a new job, college professor or program director or other. College professor, program director, other. I feel like college professor may be the one that takes a little bit longer. Program director may be the one where you have a lot of room for growth when it comes to community, when it comes to building your skill set in that leadership role. And then I feel like there's something else that you're specifically considering when you say other, or something else that like is a far away first when it comes to like second place. Like first is really far from second place in terms of what you may be considering for other. And I feel like that one would kind of offer you this sense of leadership or this sense of achievement. So it feels like you have good options. It just depends if you want to wait longer, if you want to focus on community, or if you want to focus on leadership fulfillment for the third option. Message from spirit guides and a song. I'm Getting Ready by Tasha Cobbs Leonard and Nicki Minaj. Page of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Justice. Whatever you learned in terms of like earned wisdom from a situation in which you felt like you wore your heart on your sleeve, you're getting some kind of good karma for that. It feels like there's nothing you have to do. It comes to you. So it almost feels like there's some kind of life change that's presented to you. And your spirit team is just saying that is because when you wore your heart on your sleeve, you did not become like what hurt you. So it's kind of like letting you know that that's why, but not that you did it for that reason. Oh, tarot cards on the token. Maybe something you asked about in a previous reading. Messages from my spirit guides. The Star, the Sun, and the Four of Cups. I feel like, I don't know if you saw it yet, but I emailed you your mod reading this morning, like right before this live, and I feel like this is more of that. It's always darkest before the dawn. See how it's the star, but dark sky, light sky. There's some kind of overcoming a disappointment that's coming up ahead because you didn't give up on staying true to you, like showing up as the most authentic version of you. So whatever disappointment you're facing, it's always darkest before the dawn. Is Savannah on the other side with family? I heard it to switch a song, and we have How Far We've Come by Matchbox 20, and the background that's like moving around is fireworks, so that may be significant. Six of Pentacles, the Emperor, Ace of Pentacles. It feels like there's specifically this masculine energy that, see how these two cards like fit together perfectly right here? Like that hill completes that side of the hill, but these cards like aren't necessarily, they don't come after one another, but it's like it puts the picture into perspective type of thing. It feels like there's someone that's close to you specifically that wasn't necessarily close to her, but is close to her now. Almost like that's the confirmation. So maybe if you had a masculine energy that passed away that didn't necessarily know Savannah well, she's now with those that group, if that makes sense. So I don't know if it's like a grandfather or father or something like that. So yes. Will the blockages ever clear for Jay and I to have a relationship between us, to give a relationship between us a fair chance? Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Seven of Swords. It feels like Jay is wrapping up very difficult lessons that are almost like too deep to get to the root of. So there's experiences externally that's helping Jay unpack the wounds that are difficult to understand internally. I feel like it's going to be a bit. I feel like it's this like fogginess of how to proceed. And it feels like there's a lesson for you in taking back your power. And there's a lesson for Jay that even though it hurts when that root is getting dug out, there's a need to face it head on. So I feel like it's going to be a minute. I don't think it's going to be clear anytime soon. Is it a mistake if I tell H no to having her family shower at my house? Eight of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. It almost feels like it may be used to hang over your head, like, oh, well, I would let you type of thing, but not now up ahead. Like, how could this be used at an inconvenient time against you up in the future is how it feels. I would say you can, as long as that's not going, you can say no. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to say no, but just knowing that it may get like put up as some kind of obstacle in the future. It feels like in front of other people. Like I try to say this in a snide way because other people are around in the future. Message from Brody for my sister. He is her golden retriever who passed on Sunday. Oh no, I'm sorry. Seven of Pentacles. Oh, look at that. Seven of Pentacles. And there's a ladder straight up to heaven right there with all the moon phases. Six of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. Trying to see what the song is. Learn How to Love You by Mrs. Greenbird is the song. Learn How to Love You. It's like the unconditional love that your sister offered to Brody. It's almost like this message of a complete, maybe not necessarily a completion of reincarnation cycles, but like the lesson that he was here to learn was unconditional love, and she was able to provide him a true example of that. Almost like that's why he was placed with her. It feels like there was some specific difficulty or some specific like something that was overcome at some point here before the passing, and it's like that's why I was with you type message. Learn how to love me through you loving me type thing. Go to this list for a minute. Is my black candle reaching the fierce and my white candle reaching the divine? Black candle, Nine of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, white candle. Feels like black candle is more like specific, not like a group, but like a one specific energy or one specific entity or one specific target, if that makes sense. And white, yes, it's like calling in healing type energy. So like specific intentions that are helping to set intentions for healing for the white one. New member, thank you. 1 second. The higher you vibe, the more you shape your environment. The lower you vibe, the more your environment shapes you. You're being called to kind of take action on changing something in your routine, and that will help you put yourself on this like forward facing momentum to in a bigger situation. It starts with your routine. Is my Savannah communicating with me through numbers? 5 of Wands, 2 of Cups, Chariot. So the Chariot's two things that are working together, right? And the 2 of Cups would be a connection. So the 5 of Wands here is like when your mind is starting to get away with you or from you and you need to bring yourself back to center, I'll show you something that is meant to connect with something else. So like a thought you're having, and then you'll see the number and you're like, okay, I must be on the right track. It feels like that, if that makes sense. So yes. Message and a song. Ooh. Suffice by NF. And the album is called Hope. 6 of Pentacles, the World, 10 of Wands. You've done what you needed to do to end this cycle where you keep standing in your own way or letting other people stand in your way without asking them to move. It feels like you're not carrying the burden specifically that you were carrying for another person for some time. And it almost feels like a leaving the nest type of feeling. Like this nest up here is drawing my attention. Like you are almost like graduating into the next class because of leaving the nest. And by the nest, it was you carrying other people's burdens at your own expense. Either you're getting out of your own way or you're no longer fearing telling other people to get out of your way energetically. New member, thank you. The only way to win with a toxic person is not to play. We often only meet our true selves on the other side of madness. Whatever or whomever you lost was not a loss. It was redirection. Redirection back to you. Can you tell me the energy of my relationship currently? Your partner. 6 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, you. 5 of Cups, Ace of Swords. Between, Lovers, 4 of Cups. There's some kind of like wish that feels is not being fulfilled. I feel like it's on your side. Like you wish something could be different, could be better. Specifically with communication, it feels maybe a lack of communication about something that kind of is like the elephant in the room type of thing. From your partner, it feels like I'm holding back because I'm trying to not rock the boat, or I'm not communicating because I'm not sure how to do that without rocking my own boat. It doesn't feel like hiding anything. It just feels like the elephant in the room we both know needs to be addressed, but you are waiting maybe for the other person to address it and they're kind of dragging their feet, or you've addressed it and they're still kind of dragging their feet to like meet you halfway with the conversation. I guess I'd say desire for conversation and avoidance of conversation. A has been coming to me in my dreams the past 2 nights, feeling very emotional. What am I meant to know? It's feeling very emotional. Either your emotions are leading you to the rabbit hole, like you're meant to be unpacking certain emotions that would kind of unlock certain memories, or it feels more like you're soon to be led down some kind of intellectual rabbit hole, and something in the messages are going to coincide with that. So like I'm showing you a sign now that when you're on this rabbit hole trying to unpack something or figure something out, you know that you're in the right direction because I'm showing you the signs of it now, if that makes sense. But it feels like purposeful communication for setting up something to do with a rabbit hole. I'm going to go back to this list. Um, Jesse's energy. 5 of Swords, 4 of Swords, Page of Swords. In my head, because of avoiding my heart, because something feels like a dark cloud over my head, and I'm trying to not feel it, so I'm in my head about it. Is the spiritual thing you mentioned, the channeling that's coming through feels transitional. The song that just started playing is The Architect by Casey Musgraves. The channeling coming through. What have you been trying to call in? It feels like almost like there's intentions set that are showing up in a way you didn't expect. So, like, let's say you were like, man, I really want to figure out how to do these kind of readings, or I really want to show, or I really want to learn this information. It's like you're being given the tool that leads you to how to do what you called in, if that makes sense. 8 of Swords, the Devil, Queen of Cups. Because you're no longer limiting yourself. You're no longer stuck in the cycle of limiting yourself, and you're in tune with your emotions that were previously being avoided. So that pathway is open now, if that makes sense. Will my daughter's BF move closer to us to be with her? 8 of Wands, the Sun, 6 of Pentacles. It's almost like it's something they're considering. It may happen quicker if they can wrap up something. I don't know if it's like career or like not something that's bad, but like tie up loose ends, and there's some kind of preparation that would be needed. It feels like it's a little bit out in the future. I know that 8 of Wands is like a fast moving car, but to me here, it's like I'm considering it. I'm thinking about it. I'm talking about it. I would say it's a bit up in the future, though, is how it feels. Why won't Jay be honest with me? The Moon, Justice, 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups could be a connection that he has that you would not be too fond of, and the Moon and Justice is like, or some kind of outside interference, some kind of bad advice, perhaps. But it's like, if I just keep this hidden, then I don't have to have the consequences for it, is how it feels. Our community is merging with another, or our company is merging with another company. Will this be a good experience? 2 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 10 of, I would say, yeah. There may even be some kind of unexpected opportunity for growth or like advancement here, like going from the tree house to the house type thing. Some kind of fulfillment, some kind of stability. 2 of Pentacles, things coming back into balance. I would say yes. How is my dad coping without my mom? Knight of Swords, 9 of Cups, Queen of Cups. A longing. This is making me like 9 of Cups would be what I want. The Queen of Cups would be your mom. And it's like this bird is like, I want to go to where you are. I feel like almost this stage of grief that's like a bit of numbness. Numbness, but longing that may even be like a little head in the clouds type thing, but like in a numbed way. And I know if I come back down, I'm gonna have to feel. So an avoidance of feelings. I would say doing okay, but there may be some more rough moments up ahead as I come back down and sit in my feelings. Oh, what just happened? Do you see me with a different job anytime soon? chances, 5 for fighting. Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, 8 of Cups. I feel like in due time, I don't know if I'm saying anytime soon. It feels like there's some kind of obstacle to face when it comes to this. I don't know if it's the decision to get a new job, or I don't know if it's, the actual applying and interviewing and all of that. It feels like there's still something to overcome. So it doesn't feel right around the corner. And if you're already interviewing, I feel like you're going to need more interviews or different interviews. 8 of Cups, it feels like you are going to eventually walk away, but there's more steps needed in between that then and now, or now and then. Message from my Uncle Bucky, token or song. A snake, number 39. I was going to change the playlist, and then I felt called to stay in the same playlist, and the song is We Don't Need 'Em by Ryan Carvalho, and we have the snake. We Don't Need 'Em, Ryan Carvalho. 2 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Queen of Swords. Whomever it is that you've taken back your power from, it feels like that's the turnaround. That's when things start to turn around for you. It's like the beginning of the beginning, or like the end of the last chapter is the beginning of the whole new series type thing. Whatever you've taken your power back from is going to start to rebalance out in more areas of your life, because you may not have been realizing how much of your effort and energy mentally was going into trying to understand something that another person has done that you're not going to be able to understand because you just wouldn't act that way. So it's like whatever you've cut ties from is setting you free. Let me go to this list for a minute. Thank you, Danny. Let's pick one of these. Muting people in real life is called boundaries. If you are serious about growth, you must also be serious about accountability. If you are serious about abundance, also be serious about gratitude. You're being called to reframe a loss, or reframe some kind of disconnection from another person. It's almost like that person had to get out of your way for you to circle back around to you. So not everyone you lose is a loss, especially if they don't respect your boundaries. Does Anna have an altar of me in her room? If so, does Karina know? Oh. Four of Swords, 5 of Wands, Ace of Swords. It's kind of not, it's not really giving me altar, but it's giving me there's something on when it comes to Anna. Anna has either bad energy, bad intentions. It's not really giving me like altar though, but there is some truth to what you're picking up on. King of Wands, taking some kind of action. It feels like Anna has taken some kind of action against you. It may not be specifically an altar, but it feels like there's action against you. 5 of Cups, Knight of Swords. Does Karina know? 5 of Cups, 8 of Swords. I don't feel like Karina knows. No, 8 of Swords would be, I'm not privy to that information. As in Karina. Anything to know about my journey with T? 2 of Cups, the Chariot, the Magician, Page of Wands. Feels like there's a major lesson for you here in terms of communication and knowing what you're deserving of in terms of communication. So I'd say that the communication factor is very important to showing you where the relationship is actually at, or the journey is actually at. So it's like, if there is communication that seems to be uplifting and progressive, you know that you're kind of heading on the right track. And when communication slows down or seems burdened, it's an indication of a bigger issue at play, which seems obvious, but it almost feels like in the past you may have gaslit yourself in some ways when it comes to that, and this is the completion of that. I feel like the value in this journey right now is overcoming potentially gaslighting yourself in the past from what you know to be true. Were hubby and I together in a previous lifetime? King of Swords, Queen of Wands, Ten of Swords, painful ending. Well, to have a painful ending, you've had to have some kind of beginning. Queen of Wands and King of Swords, it's like needing to overcome feeling a bit mismatched, where one is more passionate and one is more like logistical, head over or heart, one more heart over head and one more head over heart, so that you could come into balance. I would say that's pretty high likelihood. My grandmother died on Tuesday. I'm so sorry. Was she my best? She was my best friend. I feel like my soul has been ripped from me. Any messages? When I Look to the Sky by Train is the song. One second. Because when I look to the sky, something tells me you're here with me and you make everything all right. When I feel like I'm lost, something tells me you're here with me and I can find my way when you are here. Wheel of Fortune, Five of Wands, the Fool. So it's kind of giving me the image of this one golf course I was at one time, and this all of these things had little buckets, and it was like this waterfall that like continued on. There's a message here to allow yourself to feel it as it comes up, because if you put too much weight on the wheel, it will start to have bigger impacts. So although the emotions feel difficult right now, there's a need to feel them as they come up so that you're not holding yourself back from being able to kind of make progress through them. There's something specific here with this Five of Wands. It's almost like you're battling with yourself about a coulda, shoulda, woulda thing, and she wants you to kind of let that go. The Fool, this cracked egg here, it's kind of giving me like because of the discomfort of your emotions right now, find an outlet, whether that be painting, writing, anything. Like when you're starting to feel that way, give yourself something active to do to channel it out, because she doesn't want you to be overburdened by it. One second. Let me get one more song. One second. You've Got a Friend by James Taylor. I'm going back to the other list. One second. My sister tells me she didn't get treated the same and has a lot of sadness. I never saw that. Are her feelings just, or is it an esteem issue? It may be something where like a feeling of unevenly distributed love, but it feels like that may have been initially tied to esteem. So it's like it may not have been that drastic of a difference, it feels, but like my perception of it made it feel like a bigger gap. And now that I have wounds from that, it feels like an even bigger gap as I look back and remember. Um, Almost like what starts as a small little flame becomes a big fire. So it does feel like there perhaps was minor to medium inconsistencies with how she felt love was divided up, I guess, or support or attention or something. And it's something that kind of grew over time is how it feels. My flirt contacted me again. How did he take my neutral response? Will he follow up? I feel like yes, he'll follow up. It's kind of giving feeling like you're playing hard to get. Almost like I know you're playing I feel like you're playing hard to get and I know it type of thing. Not that you are, but it feels like that's how they feel. So the follow-up would make sense because it's like, I wanna see if I'm really right about you playing hard to get. What does the outlook for my brother's liver damage look like? Queen of Pentacles, 7 of Cups. The Devil. What does the outlook for my brother's liver damage look like? I almost wanna say, like, a lot of testing or a lot of, what else would that be? Like, some kind of analysis. It feels like they're still in the confusion stage or the trying to figure it out stage. It does feel like there's gonna be an issue that needs to be really taken, at precedent here. It feels like a large focus of his time may be spent on this issue for a bit of an extended period of time, so either needing to, like, follow up on a lot of things or change a lot of things, in terms of lifestyle. It does feel like there's gonna be an issue to be dealt with here, but with the Queen of Pentacles, it's like I'm being offered a solution. So I don't know if that's preventative care so things don't get worse. That is like a bit of a burden. Um, Queen of Wands, it almost makes me feel like a lot of different doctor's visits or maybe some second opinions to try and get clarity or further clarity. I'm from Long Island, but have fam in Maryland now. Should I move back to the tri-state area or the Maryland area next summer? Tri-state, 2 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, Maryland. You have fam in Maryland. Judgment, Ace of Wands. Should I move back to the tri-state area? 2 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. I feel like it may be more important for you to be close to the people that you know right now. Judgment, Ace of Wands is like this decision helps for a new beginning, and that may be the support of the other people playing a factor because here, 2 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, it's like that's the missing piece of what you need to give yourself some kind of fresh start. I'm leaning more towards near family. Message for me from my spirit guides. 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 3 of Cups. Interesting. Maybe seeing a lot of 3-3-3 or 3-3. 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 3 of Cups. Whatever it is, it feels like you're waiting for either some kind of collaboration or some kind of feedback or some kind of maybe even like a meeting. It feels like you're waiting for something that involves another person and you're doing the right things to align with that opportunity. It doesn't have to be more than one person. It could be like waiting for a conversation. It's like keep making the consistent effort that you're making now because you're heading in the right direction of that support or collaboration or conversation, whatever it is involving another person. Is a job coming up? 3 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, the Empress. It feels like something in the blueprint of your plan here needs to be re-looked into. I don't know if it's resume, I don't know if it's how or where you're applying or like follow-up or something. It's like there's an opportunity to rebalance out things for you, but needing to overcome this blockage that's standing in your way first. That feels like it's something kind of within your control that if you shift that, you align with opportunities. So I don't think as soon as you'd like, but it is coming. A birthday message from my mom and dad. 1 second. Fix You by Coldplay is the song. When you get what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired, but you can't sleep, stuck in reverse. Queen of Cups, 8 of Swords, and the World. It's like your birthday present to yourself is knowing that you've alleviated anything that was standing in the way of you and the most authentic version of you. It's like you're in this state of surrender, and that was the purpose of this cycle. Because the emotional surrender and kind of walking by faith, not by sight, is putting you into this place where you can finally surrender to the mental battle that you've been facing when it comes to certain shadows. It's like now you're in this state of, I can just handle anything that comes towards me because I know that I'm in this state of surrender. And if it's coming to me, it's so I can release it, type of thing. So to be proud of yourself would be the message. And happy birthday. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you back home to yourself in a form of surrender. Any messages for me? It feels like there's something or someone that's draining you, either for your resources, for your empathy, for something that they're getting from you. It feels like taking and not giving back, or not equal give and take. Yeah, it's like a misuse of your empathy or a misuse of your love. I would say being very mindful with how other people's energies are affecting you when it comes to people who are getting some benefit from you or your energy, not giving too much to those who aren't ready to hold it. If you put more water in a cup than it can hold, it's just going to spill out. So at some point, it's like, okay, there's no point in putting more in there because it's just going to spill out. That's kind of the message when it comes to that person. Song or message from my husband's friend, Sean. Lean on Me by Bill Withers is the song. Lean on Me. 7 of Cups, Ace of Wands, 6 of Pentacles. He has to like give himself the space to work through some kind of fogginess, whether that's talking something out, or it just feels like there's a lot of fogginess, and opening the window would help the fogginess to come out, whether that's unprocessed emotions. The message is that it's not weak to receive support, or be able to put yourself in a mode of receiving when you're used to give. um they're finding the balance in giving and receiving, or like feeling and being slash doing is seems to be important. Trying to see if anybody didn't get yet. Do my guides think that I'm making progress on my mediumship path? 3 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, the Hanged Man. Okay, so this would make me think of your guides, right? This is like the Holy Grail. The Hanged Man has this locked heart. It's like the next step towards further, almost like the next step in progress proves the progress that you're experiencing right now. So almost like it builds on itself. So the next step is in unlocking this heart space here, some kind of heart chakra expansion, healing, unblocking, addressing something. It's almost like they've led you to this door that now to open it is to feel something deeply, and to feel something deeply is to unlock the next step on your progress. And that step proves that the last step was major progress. So yes, but that is how to go forward, I guess. Continue. How will my daughter's choice of school next year be? Should she choose health subjects or more academic? Health subjects, academic. I feel like she'd enjoy health subjects more. How will the year be? Feels like there's a lot of finding out either my capabilities. So that may be I feel like I'm tested or stressed and then I overcome it. Or it could be I find direction. I start to put together what I want to do. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of progress. Progress might be like hard fought progress, if that makes sense. And I feel like the health subjects will be more fulfilling. Any advice or direction? Six of Swords, Knight of Wands, Five of Cups. It feels like it's important to come up with some kind of plan right now, almost like a vision board or a dream board, but like a goal board, right? It feels like there's certain obstacles that keep representing, but if you take a minute, come up with a plan, and figure out what needs to be shifted to get yourself out of like that timeline into one where there's solutions. I almost feel like it's possible you're focusing a lot on the issue and not the solution right now. And there's an opportunity for a solution by almost like taking inventory of what's going wrong and what's in your power to change. Song and message from my father. Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye is the song. Whatever obstacle you're facing, he's trying to help lead you towards some kind of perspective shift to where you could see a solution being made available for you. It feels like right now you're in this almost like fight or flight mode, and he's trying to help you fight or flight, almost like I'm trying to help you get on the airplane so you can fly out of the situation instead of being in fight or flight mode because you've already fought long enough in this scenario. So he's trying to help you shift perspective to see some kind of solution. The sun is the token here. It's like giving like light at the end of the tunnel. Let me go to this list. Any messages for me? Nine of Wands, Eight of Swords reversed, Seven of Wands. What's that quote? It's like, know your worth and add taxes. This is like, know what it costs to access you energetically and add taxes. It feels like somebody's getting away with not paying the full price of being able to access you. And obviously, I'm not speaking money. I'm just speaking like intention, energy, integrity. You're seeing something clearly, and there's a need to make decisions accordingly. How is SR doing now, and what is her energy towards me? Doing now, energy towards you. Kind of giving like focusing on building my bag or getting my bag. What's that saying? Focusing on something external, something that I can build or create or expand because I'm trying to focus out there and not in here. How do they feel about you? Almost like I could have offered you a better version of myself, and now I'm realizing that that better version exists, and I'm trying to make sense of what to do with that information. Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself. Three of Swords. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in the way I showed up. Let me get a song with that. Roar by Katy Perry. Had a serious situation here this morning. I'm heartbroken, worried, and at a loss for words. What can I do to help? Ace of Swords, King of Wands, Four of Swords. Chariot. it feels like almost like there's a plan from someone else, and then there's a potential plan from you, and it's needing to integrate those 2 together, or like 2 heads is better than 1 type thing. 2 different levels of experience, so yours and someone else's put together are better than 1. Almost like feeding back and forth off of another individual helps to come up with a solution. And or there's some need, the High Priestess. I was about to say there's some need for communication that may be at first, I'd like to avoid that, but I need to have that talk. High Priestess, hidden knowledge or something that you need to get to the bottom of before having a conversation. And then after that, 2 heads are better than 1. Yeah, Knight of Wands, a passionate message. The level of intensity that you feel about this is not incorrect. I feel like maybe you feel like you're gaslighting yourself in some way, but you're not. It feels like the level of intensity is correct for the situation. Eye of the Storm by Caleb Hearn. I'm in the eye of the storm. I'm fine, but I realize that the worst is to come when the storm is gone. Listen to that song. I feel like there may be some deeper message in there for you. I'm going to do one more and then go back to the other lists. And I'm also going to close super chats for now. Message from Michael's dad. I get a song, 1 second. In My Life by the Beatles, 2009 may be significant. It says remastered 2009. Judgment, Strength, and the Fool. There's something that he is doing in his dad's honor, or like to help the name live on here. It's like it's kind of getting the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but like in a positive way. Especially when it comes to Michael faces obstacles in a similar way to his dad, and his dad is happy that challenging adversity or overcoming adversity is living on through Michael. All right, let me go back to this list. Where am I? Messages from my guides. Queen of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, King of Cups. You're kind of being called to look at what is anchoring you right now and keeping you from expanding your, almost like if you were still in your mind, what is it that's being avoided? Because that is an anchor that needs to be released. Almost like you're ready for the next level of something, but this anchor is holding you back. What's a rabbit hole? Think of it if like there's a tunnel, right, that goes down to the ground, like underground, and it like is like a slide of some sort. And there's stuff written all over the wall that's like a clue to what you'll eventually see when you get to the bottom. Learning what all the different coding or information means as it pertains to some bigger picture. So like a rabbit hole, like figuring out all the information needed to put together some kind of bigger picture. What event or experience in the next 3 months will occur that I'm not expecting? Ten of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, the ending of something that something or someone that holds it's like someone who's acting as a something or someone who's acting as a placeholder in your life right now, but is not being it's not being viewed in that way. It's like the whatever is falling away or ending was always supposed to get out of your way when it was time, because this new beginning is here. There's a rededication of your energy because of not pouring as much of it into something that you're pouring into it now. So there's an ending that's causing you to say, okay, now I don't have 25% of my energy going to that. Where can I rededicate it to? I need to start going a little faster. I'm pretty behind. Is the pain in my mom's legs coming from her back, strength, judgment, or is it something else? 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups. Both. Feels like both, back and something else. Almost like something that was already looked at, but isn't being seen to contribute to that, but is contributing to that. Something that may not have been understood to the fullest the first time. So let me think of an example. This is just an example because it has nothing to do with her shoulder. But let's say the doctor says, like, your shoulder's torn, but it's actually your shoulder's torn 25% of the way through, but it's actually torn 50% of the way through. So that's going to significantly decrease the mobility. For example, it has nothing to do with her shoulder. But it feels like that something that was viewed as not that big of an issue is actually joining the back thing to create more of an issue. Will my sisters come round, parents and I? Should I reach out to Jesse? Feels like there's some avoidance of coming around the parents and you. But it feels like things are going to come together where it almost like, I don't know if like you could accidentally come around one another, like be in the same place at the same time, or like you're saying sisters. So maybe one sister kind of gets the other sister to be like, okay, let's just go do this thing type thing. Feels like something like that happens. Should I reach out to Jesse? Feels like you're going to be disappointed there because the two of you may want different things out of the conversation. So you can, just knowing that there may be some disappointment. Am I claircognizant? Ace of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Cups. I'd word this as it's something that may have in the past not shown up at a good time, almost like something was coming up and you're like, I don't want to know that, or I don't want to accept that. And it may have caused it to dim down for some time. It feels like it's there, but the more you pour into it, the more it will strengthen. So it needs to like really heed your intuition when it comes to that will help to strengthen it. Will we see a political disruption today or tonight during the full moon? Oh, today's a full moon. Which reading did the moon come up in? There was a reading towards the beginning. Oh no, now I'm going to have to look. And I said something about the moon and I was about to look when the full moon was and I didn't. I feel like that's significant if you're that person. Okay, so will we see a political disruption today and tonight during the full moon? Lovers, 2 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles. Political disruption. A choice to try something new to cause an issue. I don't feel like tonight, but I feel like something that's brewing is setting up for like a last minute shot in the dark from one side to the other in terms of politics. Yes, if everyone could say happy birthday to Linda. Crap, where did I just go? Let me pull one of these for Linda, actually. Linda, your birthday card. The universe has only 3 answers for us: yes, not right now, or I have something better for you. Your questions will be answered, is how it feels. Is there a reason why I used to run away as a child from summer camps or any type of kid activities I was sent to? 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, 5 of Wands. Feels like you got overwhelmed by other people's communication. Like, if I don't really want to talk right now and that person won't shut up, I'm just going to get out of here type of thing. Or if I'm having a conversation that feels overwhelming, goodbye. See how everyone's wearing a mask here too? It almost feels like even at a young age when things felt off to you, you'd be like, I'm out. Like fierce independence for a child feels to be a lot to do with it. Message and a song. 1 second. Blossom by Dermot Kennedy. Eight of Swords, 5 of Cups, the Hanged Man. It feels like you're being called to face the emotions about something that seems to be some time ago, because it'll give you a different perspective on what's holding you back in terms of like a limited view of a situation. Feels like something that you felt like you ran out of time, or you thought you had more time with the person or the situation and then you didn't. It feels like there's a need to heal from that because it unlocks a perspective of not limited view. Message from my mom. I guess that's why they call it The Blues by Elton John. Don't wish it away. Don't look at it like it's forever. 9 of Wands, the Hierophant, 3 of Cups. It's kind of giving the energy of we will be together again and carry me with you until we are. This 9 of Wands, it feels like there's a need to address what's keeping you in constant fight or flight mode. Because on the other side of addressing spiritually what's keeping you in fight or flight mode, there's some kind of bringing back to self. And bringing back to self helps you reconnect with her in a new way. So addressing fight or flight mode seems to be significant. Don't get complacent being in fight or flight mode. A message from Ascendant Master Grandmother Anna. I don't know why I just saw this deck flash in my mind. The law of reciprocity. Give without expecting anything in return, but it was in reverse. The World, 7 of Wands, 7 of Swords. There's a need to find out how to figure out where the doorway to being in receiving mode was. This came out in reverse. It's like almost like you give so much so that you don't have to be put in the position of receiving, because receiving feels wrong because you've been over giving so long. So there's a need to address whichever wound that is stemming from, because it may be that you're standing in your own way of receiving certain things because of not being a match for receiving mode, because you feel worthy only when you're giving. So need to dig to the root of that. I just got it yesterday. It's Good Fortune Tarot on Amazon. Oh. And it comes with a really big book too. The book on it is really good. It has like a lot of good learning ways to look at the decks. Like there's like quotes and stuff in there that help you understand the cards, I guess. In the spirit of Halloween and curiosity, what is up with my cats and why is Izzy scared of my husband? Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like maybe you'll know, maybe this will make more sense to you, but it almost feels like because of the veil being thin, how do I word this? The cats being able to communicate in a different way between or amongst one another, or maybe even with other cats. It's given the energy of like the veil being thin and almost like the cat's not understanding or integrating the veil being thin and it being easier to like maybe telepathically communicate or however cats communicate. See how they're like zoomed out here and then zoomed in here. This is a new beginning. So it's like, this is new to me to feel this zoomed in a hive mentality is where I'm getting that from. I'm being offered a chance to zoom in and connect differently with those like me. So other cats. Why is Izzy scared of my husband? I feel locked out of love. I feel like I don't misinterpreted love or locked out of love or of something to that effect. Message from my mom. One second. Forever Young by Bob Dylan. The album says Planet Waves. Planet Waves. Seven of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, King of Cups. Oh, waves, emotions. Planet Waves. Feels like the message is to address some kind of avoidance when it comes to emotions. It's like she's using this umbrella, but it's not raining. You need to know that you are ready to face whatever emotionally comes to the surface. Planet Waves is like a planet made of waves. So it may feel like the emotions have taken over, but it's so that things can move forward and rebalance out. So almost like facing it will make you not have to feel like you have to carry this umbrella around because you're not expecting it to rain at any time because you've dumped out the cup of your emotions. So it feels like there's a need to address that. Ace of Swords is the truth at the bottom. Hawks may be significant as well when it comes to her, or the message of the hawk, which I think is protection. Can't remember. Happy birthday. Everyone can say happy birthday to Debbie as well. Tomorrow is my birthday. What does the next year look like for me? I have Intro by Quinn XCII. Don't feel inspired by the faces I see. Flawless on socials, but can't possibly be. Ace of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. It's almost like this energy of no longer comparing yourself to how others are doing and kind of creating your own lane, offering yourself this fresh opportunity to get out of this Five of Pentacles by doing things differently without the energy of comparison, whether that was consciously or subconsciously. It feels like you're showing up in a new way here. You're no longer holding back from maybe being a little bit more bold. And it feels like that's going to bring in fresh opportunities for you, especially when it comes to community. So maybe new friends or connections of some sort or collaborations, perhaps. Go to this list. Is Archangel Michael one of my guides? Oh, Knight of Cups, King of Swords, Queen of Wands. You, him, and I did a reading this morning that got deleted before I could post it on TikTok, and it was about how seahorses like dance and swirl around each other. So it feels like that's the energy of the King of Swords, Queen of Wands, like integrating your experiences based off of what you know about him and his energy. And the deleted thing, it's almost like I'm not being very bold about who I am because you're meant to identify who I am by my energy, if that makes sense. Rabbit hole. Oh, I did that one. Oh, new moon tomorrow. Okay. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen with Allie Carter? Two of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Carter. Needing to go towards some kind of offer of support here. It's like, can't handle this on my own, need to figure out a solution with an outside source in order to turn the page here. Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Feels like there's a lot of pentacles here. Kind of gives the energy of like having to give something up in order to reestablish the foundation of stability. Like, yeah, I guess that's how I'd word it. Needing to give something up with some kind of offer to reestablish or potentially reestablish a foundation of stability. I feel like that's a true crime case. That sounds really familiar. That name. It might not be, though. What is my husband's current energy? Hierophant, Temperance, Five of Swords. How can I reestablish balance from tension? Uncommitted. Queen of Cups. Focusing on communication that won't pull things backwards away from, it feels like you making some kind of concentrated effort to reestablish balance and him maybe not wanting to mess that up or trying to be maybe a little bit avoidant of conversation because of fearing messing up an attempt at rebalancing. My husband wants to get rid of my dog Sunday because she keeps digging under the fence and even tore my neighbor's stuff up. Can you ask her consciousness, what will it take to get her to stop? Three of Wands, Five of Swords. Four of Cups. Digging up under the fence and even tore my neighbor's stuff up. It's kind of reading like behavior classes or like some kind of, I don't want to say like by force, but it kind of feels like the message of I'm not going to stop me. You have to find out a way to stop me because it's a deeper, like, you know how people have existential despair? This feels like existential boredom. Like no matter what is happening, it's never quite enough. So I stimulate myself through things that I know I'm not supposed to be doing. It almost feels like needing to force her over time to not be able to do those things. And then hopefully after a certain amount of time, it will stop, even if not secluded to a certain area. I'm just seeing like a like one of those leashes that can only go so far, and like just kind of feels like needing to just over time not be able to access those type of things, and then hopefully with maybe behavior training on top of that, it may prevent it from happening when I do have access. I have a message from, oh, my spirit guides. The Emperor, and that like jumped out. The King of Swords, Three of Swords, Four of Pentacles. It feels like either there's a need to go forward with a difficult conversation that you're thinking of having but haven't gone forward with yet, or this is like there is a difficult conversation coming up ahead, but trust yourself to take the right action in the moment. It feels like there's a conversation in which you're going to hear what is not being said, and that is just as important as what is being said. Did my dad take my high school ring, and could he have hid it in the garage, maybe in a toolbox? Justice, Two of Cups, King of Pentacles. It's like safekeeping. Took it for safekeeping. There's the crown falling off there. Like I took it so it couldn't be lost type thing. Justice, keeping it safe. Could it be in the garage? Maybe in a toolbox. Three of Cups, Three of Swords. I don't think it's in the toolbox in the garage now. Taken by him to put in a safe place. It feels like with good intention, yes. In the garage toolbox, no. Song and message for the Scorpio new moon. Oh, new moon. I said full moon earlier. One second. Drop the World by Lil Wayne is the song. Seven of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers. Keep confidently walking in the direction that you're walking, away from, I said a little bit ago, this is like carrying an umbrella when the skies are blue and it's not raining. The further you walk in the direction that you're walking, the less you'll feel inclined to need the umbrella when it's not raining. It's like right now, make the decisions that continue to get you further and further away from what was causing you to feel like that black cloud over your head, even in the difficult moments. If you keep pushing through that direction, you're eventually going to be able to put down that umbrella, not expecting rain. So I guess the message is like, it's not going to feel this way forever type of thing. Oh, it is a true crime case, Allie Carter. I may have to repool on that. I wasn't sure how I was reading that. One second. Allie Carter. One second. Oh no, that's not it. I have to look that up. I might have to ask me that in the next live. I may repull cards on that part. Will crystals work for me, or tarot cards to advance my journey? Crystals. It feels like cards will help you clearly figure out what messages you're receiving and how to make sense of them. And crystals may help with like grounding your energy and setting the intention. If you had to pick one, I feel like cards would help you because it feels more important to understand the message and then know that you also need the grounding element. Message from my dad. One second. Oh, that was it. Days Like This by Van Morrison. When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining, there'll be days like this. When everything falls into place with a flick of a switch, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Six of Swords, Two of Wands, the Star. You've completed some kind of experience and now you're in the integration mode, and that may feel uncomfortable, but it's bringing you back to your own light here. See how it's like he's walking across all these swords to get across the body of water? Um, you've made all the right strategy changes that is now allowing you to get across this like lake that was too big to jump across in terms of an obstacle. So you're completing that experience and now you're integrating the wisdom. And as you integrate the wisdom, there's some kind of forward progress that comes with it. It's all about finding your way back to yourself. How does my ex-husband see me and what is his attention? Four of Cups, the Star, Knight of Wands. Mismatched. Almost like he fears in some way that you're bringing more to the table. I know you're saying ex-husband, but it's almost like, if there's sides to this, for example, he may feel like people be more prone to take your side because of the way that you're able to present yourself that he's not. Almost like your light irritating his demons would kind of be the closest way I could explain what I'm seeing. What is his intention? The Lovers, Ten of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. I want to defend the role that I feel like I've said. No, let me reword that. If I'm your ex, I want to do things to uphold the narrative about the way that I explained the situation or my role in it, in terms of like potentially being a villain type energy. Like I don't want people to see me that way. And my intention is to make that not be the case. If Source could give everyone in this chat at this moment a message, what would it be and a song? That's a good one. Ooh, Damage by Caleb Hearn. One second. Let me get to the... One second. I want to read these lyrics. I've had friends walk away when things didn't go as planned. I've thrown it all away for that 1 in a million chance. And people always say they'd take a shot at starting over, and maybe so. But for me, it always seems broken hearts just seem to always heal. Gotta watch it break to know it's real. And stars seem brighter sleeping by the steering wheel. Sometimes friends walk in, then walk away. Well, they weren't meant for you anyway. It's all the damage in the end that makes me who I am. It's all the damage in the end that makes me who I am. What's the message? Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Ten of Wands. Planting seeds that will teach you exactly what you're made of when it comes to lifting a heavy burden. See how the ladder's there and the ladder's there? It's like we're sent here to go through the cycles of evolution, and pain is meant to be a teacher, not necessarily a punishment, even when the pain is great or the exhaustion is vast. So finding the lesson in the experience instead of just carrying the heaviness of the pain seems to be the message. Okay. I'm going to do a couple more and then I'm going to hop off. And I may be back on. I may do like a half members live, half subscribers live tomorrow, but we will. Tomorrow's Friday, right? I might do that tomorrow for like an hour. What should I focus on healing right now? Five of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. It feels like a fear of either failure or success. Like you may be feeling some kind of inaction because you may produce a lot of changes that subconsciously you may not feel ready for. So addressing where this feeling of like focusing on the problem instead of potential solutions as an unintentional form of self-sabotage that's tied to or fear of success. Who are my guides and what is their message for me for November? Three of Swords in reverse, Page of Wands, the Chariot. As you release what's not meant for you, you will be in alignment with almost like experiences that are going to remind you of who you are. So it feels like either there's a need to address certain mindsets that are either limiting you or certain cords that are not meant to still be in place. By shedding away what's not authentic to you, you find forward movement. Oop, why did this just move? Last message from my dad a couple weeks ago had a zebra. Did that have to do with meaning black and white Melania's dress? Five of Cups, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. See how the two knights, the two messengers are facing different ways from one another. And the Five of Cups, typically it's someone looking at the three knocked over cups, but there's two standing up cups behind. It's kind of making me feel like that's not exactly what the message was pointing towards. Although there may be some similarities in like the topic, or like the topic could help you unpack the message, but it feels like that's not how the message was all the way meant to be understood, if that makes sense. Like, it's kinda giving, like, close but no cigar type energy. Token. A feather. Feather. Two of Cups. The Chariot. Only focus on connections with people who make you feel light, who make you feel free and not weighed down. Pour into those who are pouring into you if they're allowing you to feel like you can float and not be held down by their energy. So be mindful of how other people are projecting onto you right now. Is the job I asked you about the right one for me? Seven of Swords, Ten of Cups, the Tower. It feels like either it's a step that gets you to the next step. So it could be that you meet someone there that gets you access to whatever your next position is. The Tower's here. So it does feel like there's something that really changes here. But the Ten of Cups is in the middle. So it's like either the experiences that you're having there could prepare you for what comes next. But either way, it feels like this is transitionary. So it doesn't feel like it's right long term. So if you want to be on your long term path, then no, this wouldn't be right. If you're okay with like a transitionary in between this and the next step, then I would say it could fit in there. Will my grandson get full custody of his child? Full custody. Eight of Pentacles, the Star, Ace of Wands. I feel like the other party is going to take some kind of swing at a miss, and it will eventually go in his favor, but it may take a little longer than expected. And I don't know if full custody, I feel like he'll end up being happy or satisfied with the amount of custody. I don't feel confident to be able to say full custody, although it could be that, depending on the situation, but it feels like there's an obstacle to overcome first, but he ends up being okay with the decision, or like being able to tolerate the decision at least. It feels like more than toleration, but like not all the way fulfillment. All right, everyone, did I get all of these? I'm going to hop off. Again, I might be on at some point tomorrow for a bit. Thank you to everyone for being here, and thank you to my mods. Mods, if you're still waiting for your reading, I will have the rest of them out today. And tomorrow is the 1st, so I will be opening spots for readings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on stand.store/The Reckoning Co. I'm not doing as many this month because I have a lot of things that I have to take care of. So I think I'm going to do 15 to 20 spots. I will try to make an announcement before I open them. Thank you to everyone for being here. I will talk to you soon.